Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Justina. I'm a Western astrologer. Welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here in today's video, I'm going to talk about Pluto's transition into Aquarius. It's a big event of 2023, and this will happen on March the 23rd until June the 11th. So Pluto will stay at 0 degrees of Aquarius throughout this time, then it will move back into Capricorn, and then in January it will return into Aquarius, where it will stay pretty much continuously until 2043, at which point it will move into Pisces, and then it will move between Pisces and Aquarius until 2044, at which point it will remain in Pisces for quite a while. So I will add these dates in the description box down below this video, but here in the first part of this video I will go through the general overview of this transit, and then in the second part I will go through, well, I will tell you how this transit will influence each rising sign on a deeper level. So here, if you want to jump into your sign straight after the first part, then you can check out the comment section or the description box down below this video where I included the timestamps for you. All right, so without further ado, let's begin. So here with Pluto moving into Aquarius, a hugely and highly anticipated event, and perhaps even a bit scary, frightening for some people, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Pluto takes over 200 years to go through the whole of the zodiac. So as we live today, in this lifetime, we won't experience this transit ever again. So this is a huge, huge event. And with this event, we are entering a period of human history where a need for freedom, where a need for justice and equality will be the theme across the whole of the world. So here the energetical shift is from the earth sign, the cardinal sign, Capricorn, into an earth sign, a fixed sign, Aquarius. So here cardinal energy is action-oriented, Capricorn is an earth sign, so here the focus is on the material, earthy things like status or perhaps what you own, and generally the material objects as well, the material world. So what we own, what career we've got, our status, and now we are moving into very different energies, and this is Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign connected to progressive thinking, the future, justice, freedom, equality, humanitarian matters. Here with the Aquarian influence, this is about information, this is about community, life within your community, but also this is about your intellect, your knowledge. So basically, as we move into as we progress into the Aquarian age, what we know will define us as people, as human beings, our intellect, our knowledge, not necessarily what we own, what car we drive, what house we have. We are moving away from these energies. Here, the Aquarian energy is more about human relationships, about connections with others, about our tribe, our community. So here, a very, very interesting world is here ahead of us. And the influence of the Aquarian age has already been very visible in the last couple of years. And some of these include a creation of communities across the globe or online, but also even moving away from using physical money. But now it's more common to use just cards, paying with our cards without using the physical money. So here with Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius, this is like the old clashing with the new. Capricorn is about tradition, about rules, structures, boundaries, regulations. And Aquarius is about new discoveries, new concepts. While Capricorn is practical and realistic, Aquarius is not afraid to speak out against corruption or discrimination. Aquarius is original. Aquarius is honest, determined, and experimental in its outlook. Even though Aquarius is an earth sign, water plays an important or even a key role in its symbolism. Water purifies, water cleanses, water filters. So this is without a doubt a fresh new beginning for us collectively as well as individually. The last time when Pluto was in Aquarius, that was in the 18th century. This is when the planet Uranus was discovered. This is when the French and the American Revolution took place. So here with Pluto moving into Aquarius, new discoveries that forever change the economic, the social, the cultural system are set to transform the social order and change our world as we know it today. Aquarius is a collective sign where groups, communities, equality, freedom truly matter. So here a unique and permanent shift in the balance of power is inevitable. So a really exciting future is ahead of us. There will be challenges, of course, but it seems like there will be a lot of progress made in technology, in architecture, space travel as well, or even travel here across the globe. So it feels like traveling perhaps between Australia and Europe or America and Europe could take less time, for example, with the advancement of the aircraft, of the airplanes. I'll discuss this topic further next year, but today I wanted to focus on here a little bit about this transit, but also what this transit will bring for you on a deeper level. It's a long time. It's going to be like a 20 years time frame. So it will be a slow process, slow transformation, but the most intense, the most vivid events usually take place when a planet enters a house and when it departs, when it leaves. Here, if you have any planets in Aquarius, especially one of the personal planets, then here you will definitely experience a massive shift of energy transformation of some sort, depending what planet it is, what house it rules. But overall here with Pluto, this is about generally moving away from something that doesn't belong in your life anymore. It's a huge transformation, a huge regeneration. So here, let's see what this transit will bring for you on a deeper level. You can find the timestamps in the description box down below this video and in the comment section. Thank you. Hello Aries, and welcome to your horoscope for Pluto's transition or transit in Aquarius that will begin in 2023, just for a short period of time. So when Pluto moves into Aquarius in March 2023, you will have a little taste of what you may expect in the 20 years of this transit. This will be a little taste only, because Pluto will only come into the first or zero degree of Aquarius, and only in January it will begin its proper transit in Aquarius. So here with Pluto in Aquarius, this is your 11th house. So here you had Saturn here in the last 2.5 years, and Jupiter was here as well in 2021. And now Pluto is coming over. So there has already been changes happening in this area of life. Your long-term plans, goals, wishes, hopes, but also your social circle, people with whom you socialize and spend your time, your free time. So here when Pluto comes here, on the other hand, Pluto needs intensity. These are very powerful, transformative energies with Pluto. You will be moving away from people who well, who don't really play a meaningful role in your life. So here you will experience a transformation when it comes to your friends, your social circle, people that you hang out with. And here with Pluto, on one hand, you will not appreciate any superficial people or friendships in your life. So you will move away from these. But at the same time, you are going to attract and be attracted to intense people, people who, well, people who can definitely help you to feel more self-empowered. But at the same time, there will be also people who are pretty intense and can also create intense situations and circumstances in your life. So here with Pluto moving into the 11th house, here transformation will come when it comes to your community, your social circle. Now you might attract throughout this time a few people into your life who will change the course of your life, who will transform you on a deeper level. And this could be a pretty intense experience, but at the same time, it could be a necessary step in your, evolutionary journey. So here, transformation when it comes to your social circle, also people that you are attracted to, this might also change. You might change your social circle, you might change your taste when it comes to people, perhaps your interests might change as well, and you will seek more empowering connections, friendships in your life. Generally, you will also seek deeper experiences with people that you socialize with, deeper conversations. Self-improvement, self-empowerment will come through friendships, group activities. So here you might also join new groups, or perhaps become a member of a certain organization that will have a very strong impact on you, on your life. At the same time, you might also create your own tribe, your own community. Here you will have this inner strength, the inner power for doing so. So generally here, your friendship circle will change, your taste when it comes to people. At the same time, this transit is likely to attract people who into your life who will have a very strong impact on you and on the course of your life. Now, when it comes to your long-term goals and plans, these are also likely to change. You might be attracted to different hobbies, different interests, and also you might no longer identify with your current goals, and these might also change and transform at the same time as Pluto moves into Aquarius for the first time, and also Saturn into Pisces. You will be closing many chapters in your life. There could be losses when it comes to friends. It doesn't mean that it's death, but perhaps generally you will realize that you no longer have anything in common with these people, and it's time to move on and perhaps move away from certain people, certain friendships in your life, especially if they disempower you, especially if they have a negative impact on your self-esteem, for example. But also here you will be changing your goals, your hopes, your wishes for the future, because as I mentioned, Saturn will be in your 12th house, so you'll be also closing certain chapters in your life over the course of 2.5 to 3 years. And at the same time, your goals, your hopes and wishes for the future will also transform. All right, so here, this is a little overview for you. And let's move into the next sign. Thank you very much. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming transit of Pluto in Aquarius, which we will have a little taste of next year between March and June. So this is happening in your 10th house. So I feel that for the fixed signs, this will be a very eventful time, these next at least 5 years, especially since the most important events happen at the beginning of the of the transit of the planet moving into a new house, a new area. So here, this is happening here in your 10th house. So this is your career life, your public image, your public status as well. So how things work out for you will depend on your circumstances, will depend how you dealt with Saturn's transit in Aquarius in the last 2.5 years. Here, Pluto is about transformation, intensity, death and rebirth. If you are moving away from something that doesn't work in your life. And here the fixed energy can be slightly, perhaps can create a tendency that makes one resistant to change or stubborn. But here with Pluto, it's important to go along with these energies, because otherwise it might be even more difficult to deal with the circumstances that occur as a result of this transit. So Pluto in your 10th house, this could be pretty huge, and this is likely to be pretty huge. Now, on one hand, this could be a time of, well, this will be a time of transformation regardless of what happens. But this could be a time when you move up in your career ladder, when things just change completely for you. But here depends on your circumstances, as I said, depends on your age as well. Here, if you know what you want to do with your life, if you perhaps are in the later stage of your life especially, and if you have discovered your purpose, if you are comfortable in your career, then perhaps Pluto might bring a strong empowerment, self-empowerment, in a way of career advancement, career progress, or a higher position. So here, this will be a big transformation for you, because you would find yourself perhaps in a very different role, in a very mature, serious, or a role that is connected to increased responsibility, or perhaps a role that is related to being in authority or becoming an authority figure within your organization. So here, this could be one case scenario. For some people, this could be a loss of a job as a result of changes that occur or are currently already occurring in your organization. So for some people, this could be a huge transformation, and you will be changing your jobs. You will be leaving your current organization, moving somewhere else. Now, we also have Jupiter moving into Aries and Taurus next year, Saturn moving into Pisces. So here, don't worry, even if you experience a sort of crisis, because Pluto could bring a loss. But here, Pluto, whatever happens, this is basically something that was meant to be, pretty much, because perhaps whatever is happening has already outlived its purpose, no longer serve any good, and you are moving into something different, even though it might feel like a massive shock or a transformation at first. In the long term, you will see that this is something that was needed, something that perhaps opened new doors, new opportunities for you. So overall, for many Taurians, this could be a change of career, change of job, change of position, change of even your public image, your public status could also change at this time. Here, bear in mind, we still have one more eclipse happening in your sign and in your opposing sign in Scorpio. So at the same time, you will be also finalizing next year some important matters connected to your personal life, as well as to your personal relationships, or perhaps any contracts you may have with other people or organizations. But here with Pluto moving into your 10th house, so for some people also, you might no longer identify with your career goals, and these might also transform pretty substantially in the next couple of years, because this is not something that will happen just instantly. Pluto is a very slow moving planet. This transit will take around 20 years, so you might also change your career more than once throughout this time, or perhaps jobs. You might redefine your goals, career goals. This is also when many Taurians might return into studying, so your professional development courses could be also the case for many people, especially since you might be also moving away from one career and then starting something brand new, and here a training, a course of some sort might be also needed. Now here with Pluto in the 10th house, you will also attract people who will act as a way for you to feel more empowered in your public life. So you might also attract people who are pretty intense, pretty scorpionic to a certain extent. This is about self-realization in your career, in your outside world, self-improvement, self-empowerment. This is the goal, the ultimate goal of Pluto transit in the 10th house. So if you know what you are supposed to do with your life, so if you're comfortable with your career, then this could be a transformation when it comes to your role, when it comes to your status within your organization. If you still haven't figured out what you want to do with your life, and you still kind of reviewing, reassessing your career stand, then Pluto's transit in your 10th house in Aquarius could act as a breaking point and perhaps even a little crisis. And during this time, you'll be also rediscovering yourself and figuring out what is it that you want to do, because here Pluto will definitely push you deep, and you will be definitely reviewing your career stand on a deeper level. So generally a huge transformation regardless of your circumstances, but the ultimate goal of this transit is self-empowerment, self-improvement as well. So thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Geminis, and welcome to your horoscope for Pluto's transit in Aquarius. So this is your 9th house, and here with Pluto in Aquarius in your 9th house, Aquarius and Gemini, these are both air signs. So you are likely to find this transit pretty empowering, because here Pluto in Aquarius will trine your ascendant and any other placements that you have in Gemini. The 9th house stands for your life philosophy, your life principles. This is also the area of higher education, foreign travel, foreign people, legal matters. Pluto is the planet of transformation, regeneration. With Pluto, there is intensity. And here with Pluto coming into your 9th house, over the course of the next 20 years, your life philosophy, your belief system is likely to transform on a very deep level. And here this transformation, these realizations that you will go through and experience, they are likely to occur as a result of people that you meet through your travels, or perhaps through studying, or perhaps any experiences that you experience through traveling or with other people, especially foreign people. So these experiences, these events, these connections will have a very transformative effect on you. Now, not every person that you meet throughout this transit will have this intense transformative effect on you, but there will be some individuals, some events, some circumstances that will definitely make you question your life philosophy, your life direction. And here eventually a transformation will occur. And I feel that many people, including some family members, well, in my family, who don't believe in spirituality or astrology, it will be a game-changing experience for them if their rising sign is Gemini, especially. So here, huge changes connected to your belief system, your life philosophy, your life principles, as a result of events that occur through your travels, or perhaps the people that you meet as well, especially people who come from different backgrounds, different cultures, countries to yours. Now here, Pluto is also connected to compulsive behavioral patterns, to obsession. So you might become obsessed with a certain topic or with astrology, for example, and you might want to study it like very, very profoundly to gain a really deep understanding of this subject, of this topic. This could be also a foreign language. You might be also learning a foreign language throughout this time. Here, this is also when you might experience a sort of crisis. And this is also here related to your life direction. So here, whatever occurs throughout this transit, it's a very long time, it's 20 years. Here, the first years will be the most important, and the final years, so around 2040, 43, 44, when Pluto will start its transition into your 10th house. So whatever occurs here throughout these next 20 years of your life will have also a huge impact on your career life, because the 9th house, whatever happens in the 9th house, whatever we learn, whoever we meet throughout this time will also have a very deep and profound effect on our career life, our career goals and choices. So here, a pretty empowering time. Now, many people might also move abroad, travel more, or perhaps work abroad throughout this period, or perhaps they might become citizens of a different in a different country. This could be also the case, so you might gain a dual citizenship, but this is likely to be something very empowering, something perhaps that you always were longing for, but perhaps you didn't have much hopes, and here Pluto might make this huge transformation. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Cancers, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transit in Aquarius. This is a 20 years transit, so it's a long time, and often or usually the most important period during a transit of a planet in a sign is at the beginning of the transit and at the end. So this is happening in your 8th house. So here, Pluto, the modern ruler of Scorpio, here the 8th house is traditionally related to Scorpio. So Pluto feels comfortable in this house. Here, Pluto connected to transformation, regeneration, death, and rebirth. With Pluto in the 8th house, here, this is about diving deep into certain subjects or topics that perhaps seemed too frightening to approach before. So here, this could be related to, well, regaining self-empowerment. Now, during this time, many Cancers will go through a healing journey. And this healing journey could be as a result of perhaps any issues that you have been kind of experiencing or dealing with throughout your life, but perhaps you failed to approach them or deal with them, or perhaps you didn't have the time, the energy, or the courage to deal with them before. And this could be related to your mental health. This could be related to some old wounds, traumas, difficult memories. With Pluto in the 8th house, you have this inner strength, inner ability to deal with difficult emotions and feelings. You can dive deep into your heart, into your subconscious mind, and truly understand yourself on a deeper level. So here, a time of internal transformation could occur in the next few years for you, because you will have the inner need to really free yourself from any difficult emotions and feelings that act as a blockage and hold you back and make it difficult for you to move forward with your life. So anything that is affecting you, any perhaps issues, memories, worries, here with Pluto in the 8th house, you will be able to deal with them, to overcome them. It won't be an overnight process, but you will have this inner strength for dealing with these difficult emotions and situations. At the same time, Pluto is the planet of transformation, intensity, and the 8th house is also the house of intimacy. So you will also crave deeper connections with others. If you are already in a relationship, you will want to connect with your partner on a deeper level, soul-like level, understand them more profoundly. Now, Pluto in the 8th house, this is also, the 8th house is also the 2nd house of your significant other. So perhaps they might be also going through a big transformation in their, connected to their income, connected to a new job, new job prospects, career advancements of some sort, or perhaps a crisis. This could be also the case, but here with the 8th house and the 2nd house being for your partners, this is also when a transformation could occur in their financial sphere. Now here, the 8th house is also the house of investments, mortgages, and debts. So this is also when you might be dealing with your property, you might be selling, you might be also generally changing your approach to money moving forward. Now here with the 8th house, this is also when power struggles might occur, especially when it comes to joint finances, joint resources. So there could be also changes that will have to be implemented. Now here, many Cancers might also deal with inheritance. Pluto is the Lord of death, so generally it feels like there will be a transformation in your life in the coming years. A deep transformation, and this could be related to a relocation or perhaps a sale or a purchase of a property, or you might have a child. You might also meet someone who will have this really strong impact on your life. But generally, usually when there is a major occurrence in the 8th house, this is usually when you are going to go through a transformation in your life, especially if you feel burnt out, if you feel like many areas of your life or many aspects of your life outlived their purpose and you are ready to move on, but you're not sure in which direction, Pluto moving here in your 8th house will help you to really gain a better understanding of what you truly want from your life. So here the self-empowerment, self-improvement will occur down the line, but initially you might experience a sense of crisis, trying to really understand what is it that you want from your life. But overall healing, diving deeper into your feelings, emotions, moving away from anything that's disturbing. This is also something that may occur in your life in the next couple of years. So thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Leos, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transition into Aquarius in 2023. So here this is happening in your 7th house, so your relationships will be affected, your marriage, one-to-one connections with others. Pluto is a planet of transformation, regeneration. These are very deep, intense and powerful energies. So depending on your circumstances, here Pluto might bring a certain degree of crisis. If you are married, then perhaps you and your partner, or perhaps one of you, will experience a crisis and will question the meaning of this relationship. So generally with this transit, you will be moving away of some outlived misconceptions, some outlived habits, routines that affect the development of this relationship, of this marriage. So whatever the scenario, there will be a transformation in this relationship, in your marriage, and how you relate to one another will change as well. So in a way, this could be a time of growth, depending on how you dealt with each other, how you dealt in this relationship in the last few years. Here, if you experience power struggles, if you experience a sense of manipulation or jealousy, then this transit might be experienced with more difficulty, it might be more challenging. However, whatever the scenario here, this relationship will go through a process of transformation, because some aspects of this union have already outlived its purpose, lost its meaning. So this will be a kind of a time of a rebirth. And this rebirth will depend greatly of how you will deal with this transformation. Each of you will depend on how you kind of relate to one another, or how you have been relating to one another in the last few years or even months. So whatever the scenario here, Pluto brings here transformation, a need for transformation. So perhaps some relationships will break because you will realize that you no longer understand each other, you no longer have much in common, or perhaps you have grown apart. So here some relationships will break, or perhaps other relationships will go through a process of transformation, which could include a crisis initially of some sort. However, eventually this relationship might become much stronger, because you will be able to move away from any habits, routines, anything that kind of outlived its purpose and lost its meaning. So here, for those of you who are single, you are likely to attract someone into your life who will have a very deep effect on you, very transformative effect on your life, on your life principles, for instance. So here there's this scorpionic energy, powerful, intense energy. So you are likely to also attract this kind of people who will have this very intense effect on you. So here many Leos might meet actually the one, so to speak, someone with whom you will be able to establish a solid commitment, a solid union. But these will be relationships that will initiate a transformation on a deeper level here in your life. At the same time, the people that you attract into your life throughout this, the next 20 years, especially in the initial phase and towards the end of this transit, these will also be people that will help you to understand yourself on a deeper level. So you will attract people with whom you might experience power struggles, or you will have some intense experiences, conversations. And through these experiences, through these conversations, you will also understand yourself on a deeper level. So there will be a huge self-discovery going on at the same time that you will experience through your relationships. So this isn't just about your relationships, this is also about understanding yourself on a deeper level through your relationships, because you will attract also very deep, intense individuals into your life. Even if you are single, this could be people who will help you also overcome certain fears, phobias, or traumas. And these could be a psychologist, psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, for example. So it doesn't really have to be just a love marriage, but also people who will help you to overcome a certain difficulty in your life. So here, professional consultants may also bring a significant transformation in your life. Now here, something to remember is to avoid power struggles with people who are your enemies, with people with whom you know that you won't be able to find a resolution, a common ground, it's better to just stay away from this kind of people, because these kind of encounters are likely to escalate into something really nasty and disturbing. So stay away from enemies, open enemies. This is the house of open enemies. Welcome relationships with people who can really help you transform yourself, your life, transform some habits into something more meaningful, more valuable. All right, so thank you very much, Leos, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Virgos, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transit in the sign of Aquarius. This is happening in your 6th house. So this is pretty great because the 6th house and Virgo, these are the very similar energies. So this is about your health, your everyday routine, your work, your employment. So here with Pluto in the 6th house, I feel that many Virgos might transform their diet. If you haven't already, because Pluto has been traveling very close to your 6th house cusp for quite a while. And here with Pluto in the 6th house, I feel like many Virgo rising will become vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian. And here there will be this huge transformation and a greater interest in exploring different type of diets, different type of foods or cuisines or recipes. So I feel like there will be a huge transformation in this area of life for many Virgos, Virgo rising here especially. Now here with Pluto in the 6th house, this is also when you have to take a deeper look at your health, because if you have been neglecting your health in the last few years, when Pluto moves into your 6th house, whatever has been kind of bothering you, but you didn't put much attention, or you didn't have this checked, this condition, then Pluto in Aquarius here moving into your 6th house will definitely be like an alarming time when you will have to put some attention into a matter connected to your health that you have been neglecting. Now, it might not relate to everyone. However, if it does relate to you, then you might want to put more attention, more focus into that health matter that perhaps you overlooked in the past, because your body will tell you, your body will give you some signals and signs. Now, on a different level here, the 6th house is related to the everyday life, everyday duties. This is a sort of transformation also when it comes to your daily life, daily responsibilities. Here, you might be attracted to different type of sports, different type of after work, afternoon activities, perhaps Zumba, or perhaps some water sports. Generally, this is also about really taking a better care of your health, of your body. And this is why you might really feel like you want to get involved in some activities, physical activities that will help you to maintain a healthy diet, and also make sure that your body is strong and looked after. So this is what might also occur for many Virgos. Now, on a different level, this is also your work. This is also your business. So there could be also transformation going on in this sphere of life as well. So you might see that you might change your job more than once in the next few years, especially if you felt unhappy, especially if you've experienced difficulties with some co-workers or with people in authority. Here Pluto is connected to people in power, and if you experience power struggles now during this transit, especially if you have already experienced them now in the last few years, then when Pluto moves into Aquarius, it might be a breaking point, and you might realize that you can no longer deal with these energies, with this atmosphere at work, and you want to change. So there could be also this big decision that you might also want to make next year that could involve leaving your job, changing your job, moving to a different department, because there could be also power struggles with your superiors, supervisors, or perhaps even with your co-workers. So this might also be the case, changes concerning employment. Now here with Pluto also, that if you have your own business, you might be also restructuring, changing your how your business operates. So this is also something that you might want to look into even now, to see if this is something that is coming up, and perhaps if you can prepare for it, then you might deal with these energies slightly easier when they come next year. Now here with Pluto in the 6th house also, this is also about here, so yes, your work, your employment. Now Saturn will be in your 7th house. So here with the 6th house, maybe there will be an opportunity for a new contract, a new job, a new contact, a new person that enters your life who will help you with your employment situation. Now, many Virgos might also get into professions related to police work, detective work, research work. Your research skills might really improve throughout this transit, and you might have a greater need for a perfection, for becoming a perfectionist, but you probably already are a perfectionist because of your Virgo rising qualities. So there is some perfectionism and the need for being organized here. That's definitely the case in some areas of life at least, but overall with Pluto here in the 6th house, this is about a transformation related to your everyday life, to your work sphere. Perhaps you might decide you want to work from home, or you want to work different, more flexible hours. Here Aquarius is related to more progressive thinking. And with Aquarius in your 6th house cusp, you probably enjoy working as a freelancer, or perhaps in a more flexible environment, for example. So perhaps if you experience more restrictions and limitations at your work with Pluto in Aquarius, then you might want to break away and change something on a deeper level. All right, so thank you very much, Virgos, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Libras, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transition into Aquarius. It's a 20 years transit, so a very long time. And here the 5th house deals with anything to do with the romantic side of your life, anything to do with your hobbies, your interests, and also children, young people. So this transit here in the 5th house, Pluto is connected to regeneration, transformation, intensity. These are very powerful energies, and if you are already in a romantic relationship, this relationship might become pretty intense, especially in the next few years, in the initial phase of this transit and in the final phase. And here, if the relationship is healthy, then the intensity brought into this relationship will only strengthen it, will only make it stronger. However, any difficult romantic relationships might break throughout this time. There could be power struggles, jealousy, and inability to connect and move on. So here, depending on your circumstances, this transit could play out accordingly. Now, on a different level, if you are single, then throughout this transit, especially here in the next couple of years, you may attract someone into your life who will be very either obsessed with you. So this could be a very deep relationship, a profound soul-like connection. This could be very much the case. Now pay attention, because with Plutonic relationships, there could be also power struggles and manipulation. So here you will have to be mindful with your boundaries here with Pluto, because you might also attract individuals into your life who might not be showing their true colors initially. So something to keep in mind, might not relate to everyone, but it's also something to be aware of. So here, deep experiences when it comes to the romantic sphere of life, deep connections, connection that you establish around this transit could have a very transformative effect on you, on your life. Here, the fifth house also deals with children, so it feels like many Libras might have a baby, or perhaps if you already have a child, then your relationship with them might transform as well. Now, you will have to be also mindful about what you do with your children throughout this, especially in the initial phase, what you teach them, and because this will also have a very profound effect on them, because whatever you do with your children throughout this transit, it will have a very deep and profound effect on their development, on their on their future, to a certain extent. So here you have this very deep influence on them throughout this time, very deep and profound. So it's something definitely to be aware of, because they will also see you as someone very powerful. So here there is this opportunity for developing a very strong and solid and a deep connection with your child, but it's also essential to be aware of what you are teaching them, what you are doing with them, because it will have a powerful effect on them. Now here with this transit, so here the fifth house deals also with freelancing. So many Libras might start their own business, might become self-employed, might become freelancers throughout this time. And there could be lots of also different projects that could really be quite deep, interesting and transformative at the same time. But also this is also transit that could make you become obsessed with a certain hobby, with a certain interest. The fifth house deals with hobbies, and with Plutonic energies here, you might become really obsessed with a new hobby that you may start throughout this transit, and this hobby may develop into something that you could do professionally, something that you could develop as your skill, as something that you could offer as a service. Now, the fifth house also deals with entertainment, so you will seek experiences that are deep, that are profound, that increase your adrenaline, that are intense as well. So here you might be attracted also to different kind of experiences. You might also perhaps find things that you used to do during your free time not as interesting anymore, because you will seek that intensity in whatever that you do. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Libras, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transit in the sign of Aquarius. This is your fourth house. And here, the fourth house is the house of family, home, our roots, our childhood, our inner self. So here, our emotional well-being will be disturbed to a certain extent as Pluto enters Aquarius. So here, as you probably know, or many of you know, my rising sign is Scorpio. So here, this will also relate to me. Fundamental changes here on the home front are coming, and I think many people with this Scorpio as a rising sign are probably already feeling that something is coming up in their on their home front. So perhaps this could be a relocation, change of residence, or perhaps if it isn't related to a change of residence or a relocation, then perhaps you will be making major changes at your current home, and this would involve some building work, because with Saturn it will be about repairs, about boundaries, about restructuring the house. However, with Pluto, this is about demolishing of the walls, the roof, you know, so this is a major work could be done at your home if you're not planning a move. However, if you're not planning a major building work, you might be moving. There could be changes also at your at your home. So this could be also related to someone moving in, someone moving out, but these are profound changes. It's not something light that perhaps happened before. This is likely to be something that will have a huge impact on your future, on the years to come. So here, this is huge. At the same time, this is also when you are going to think about your past, about your childhood. You are going to understand better certain situations that occurred in the past, especially early in life, and you will see how they affect your life today. So you will see them from a different light. So this is what actually has been already happening to me. And it's in a way, this could be slightly, I don't even know what word to use. Slightly, not even sad. Well, sad, yes, it could be sad, and you might feel miserable remembering some things from the past. But at the same time, by seeing them from a different light, from a different angle, you'll be able to understand why you feel a certain way, why you behave a certain way in your life, in your adult life. And this way you will be able also to move away from these thoughts, close these chapters in your life, and move away from these memories, because you will have a better understanding of yourself, of yourself on a deeper level. So there could be a certain degree of crisis with this transit, especially in the initial phase, because you will be kind of you'll be thinking a lot about your past. The fourth house is the house related to Cancer, the moon. The moon is about the past, about about reflecting upon what happened during our childhood, during our upbringing. So here lots of memories could be also coming up into your mind, and lots of re-evaluations as well, but only to better understand why you are a certain way today. Now, something to pay attention to is a possible tendency that you may develop that may lead to you overly focusing on regrets, on what you didn't do, on what could have happened if you did that or whatever. So it's something to really pay attention to, because it's very easy here with Pluto in the fourth house to fall into these tendencies of self-undoing. So this isn't a transit that is supposed to disempower you. Quite contrary, it's supposed to empower you, but first you might experience a crisis of the self in the emotional sense, as you learn better about your weaknesses, only to move away from them and transform them into something more valuable, into the valuable lessons, perhaps. So here, Pluto in the fourth house. Lots of changes also in the family relationships. There could be death in the family. There could be separations, divorce. Doesn't have to be, between you and your partner, but it could happen within your immediate family. There could be power struggles with one of the parental figures as well. So it's something to pay attention to. And overall, also, there's this tendency as well that you may develop, because here Pluto is connected to obsession, compulsive behavioral patterns. So it's something to really pay attention to, that you don't transform these emotions or behavioral patterns onto another family member. If you're experiencing this transit deeply, it's better to release these energies on decluttering, getting rid of things that you don't need, because you might also have a need to get rid of old objects, or generally anything also that's superficial, anything that brings bad memories, that has bad energies, for example. Right, so here we go. We'll see how this transit develops next year, but we still have one more eclipse, lunar eclipse in Scorpio next year. So this is likely to be a pretty eventful year for Scorpios next year. And this can also create this really strong need for making a major transformation in your life. Because especially if you feel like you've been held back or limited, here Pluto into your 4th house, you might feel like enough is enough, something needs to be done, and you might step in with your inner power at some point and implement the necessary changes. But here I will explore these energies further as we move closer to March. This is just to give you some heads up. Thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Sagittarius, and welcome. So here in this forecast we will focus on Pluto's transit in Aquarius. So here Aquarius and Sagittarius connect by a sextile. So here this transit might feel pretty empowering for you in a positive sense, and it may bring some opportunities as well for you in a way of new contracts, new connections with people who are in power, or perhaps who are empowering to a certain extent. This is a very long transit. It will last 20 years. So here we are looking at a very, very wide time frame. But here with Pluto moving into your 3rd house, the 3rd house deals with communication, our mind, our intellect, our immediate surroundings. And here with Pluto moving into Aquarius, you might be very interested, or you might develop an interest in new topics, in new subjects that will really make you become obsessed with them, and you will want to really gain a good understanding of this particular topic, subject, whatever it is. So this could be the case generally with Pluto in the 3rd house. You really want to dive deep. You might become obsessed with facts, information, learning, studying, with knowing things, reading, researching. So there's this need for really gaining a good understanding of whatever that you're interested in. This might be as simple as perhaps if you want to buy a new fridge with Pluto in the 3rd house, you will want to really know everything about the product that you are going to purchase. So this is about really becoming obsessed with information, with learning, with studying, with researching as well, researching information that you need. Now here Pluto in the 3rd house will also transform some relationships with people in your life, with people within your community. You might change your approach to some neighbors, people in your neighborhood. There could be also lots of events, transformative event situations happening in your neighborhood, in your community. Generally, your approach towards your life within your community will also change as a result of events that occur throughout this transit, especially in the initial phase and in the final phase. That will really bring some empowering experiences that will also change your way of thinking, change your way of seeing things. You will see things from a different life, especially certain relationships. Your communication style might change as well. You might become more secretive, more mysterious, more curious as well. So you will have this really probing mind who really wants to get to the root of any problem, any issue. And here with Pluto in the 3rd house, this is also when you will learn a lot. So your communication style will change. You will learn a lot, dive into very deep into certain topics of your interest. Your communication, relationship with your siblings, next of kin, cousins will also transform. There could be power struggles, especially with the ones that you don't really get along with. But if you can survive these, you can get through these, then your relationship will strengthen. Your relationship will improve and will be much stronger. However, if you don't manage to resolve the struggles, the issues that emerge, then these relationships might temporarily break. So this could play out in two different directions. This is also in regards, well, changes to your community, perhaps you might be attracted to different kind of people within your community, people who are more intense, people who are more mysterious, for example. Perhaps for some people, small talk might not come as easily as usual because you will want to have these really deep conversations with others. Now, what else I wanted to tell you is that because Pluto is connected to intensity and it's got so much power in itself, then you can also become a very powerful communicator. And some Sagittarians might become public speakers, or they might do a lot of presentations to a wider audience, and you'll be able to grasp your audience's attention with ease as a result of your powerful and pretty intense communication skills. Now, if it doesn't, this might not be related to everyone initially. This depends on your experience, your age, but at some point throughout this transit, you might see that this is the case. So, thank you very much, and let's move into the next sign. Hello Capricorns, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transit in Aquarius, and this transit will be in your second house. So here, after almost 15 years, Pluto is leaving your sign. This might feel pretty liberating, and I'm sure that in the final months of Pluto in Capricorn, here, before it moves into Aquarius for the first time around, I'm sure there will be a lot happening. Because as the planet leaves a sign, especially a slow-moving planet, this is when we deal with situations that we didn't have a chance or courage to deal with during the course of the transit, so during those 15 years. Now, here with Pluto moving into Aquarius, this is a game changer because here with the second house, you will be transforming your personal values. So here in the next few years, you may realize that you no longer relate to your personal values, and you might experience a sense of crisis at the same time as well. So here your personal values will definitely here transform. There could be a crisis of some sort as well in the initial phase of this transit, but only to help you really understand truly what is it that you value, what your life principles are, for example. But here with also Pluto moving out of Capricorn, of your sign, of your rising sign, into Aquarius. Aquarius is an earth sign. Also, you might become less materialistic. You might need less, or perhaps your attachment to certain resources, possessions might also change. Or perhaps your interest in accumulating material wealth might be less intense. Perhaps the focus will shift on spending your money on things that will help you generally to learn something, expand your intellect or knowledge, for example. Now, at the same time here with Pluto moving into the second house, some people might experience changes connected to their income. And this could be related to, well, here, first of all, Aquarius here will trine your 10th house cusp. So even though there could be changes related to your money, perhaps even perhaps some financial losses could also be the case. However, overall, this is a positive transit for your career, because with trines, these are often opportunities. These are often positive energies that you could use to your own benefit towards financial growth and career development, for example. But it here with Pluto, as soon as Pluto moves into Aquarius and into your second house, you might experience financial losses or changes concerning your income, for example. So your income situation could change. Now, you might no longer align or connect to the way you make money. And this could also make you want to change your job, change your career, because you no longer align with whatever that you do, whatever that brings money. So there could be also crisis experience in this area that could prompt you to look for a different job, to look for a different way to earn money, to accumulate wealth and generate your income and revenue. Here with the second house, so here there's also this need for getting rid of things that you don't need. So you might be also getting rid of some objects, material objects, resources, possessions, especially the ones that no longer serve any purpose in your life, no longer align with your personal values, with who you want to become. And this could be also a time when you just want to get rid of these, especially things that are also superficial, because Pluto doesn't like superficiality. And for this reason, you might have this need for decluttering, getting rid of things that have no value and that outlived their purpose. So here, changes to income, changes to also personal values. Now, this is also related to your skills, to your talents, and perhaps down the line, you might see that some of your skills, some of your talents can be pretty empowering and powerful, and you might use them to your own benefit. You might use them in the career sense, for example. Now, since Pluto is connected also to obsession, control, you might have this really strong need to be in control of your financial situation, especially if you have been codependent recently or in the last few years. Now with Pluto moving into your second house, you will have this really strong need to be self-reliant, independent, financially independent. At the same time, you might develop an obsession at some point throughout this transit when it comes to accumulating wealth or certain objects of desire. You might become obsessed with a certain material object, for example, and you might find it very difficult to let go of them. So on one hand, while you might want to get rid of things that are superficial, that no longer align with your life, your life purpose. On the other hand, you might be also obsessed with some items, some resources, some possessions, but also there is this need to be in control of the situation, the need to be self-reliant, self-sufficient in the financial sense. So here there's a strong need for financial stability and security. So you will also have to kind of balance out these energies and make sure that you don't become overly obsessed, overly controlling when it comes to your money, when it comes to your resources or possessions, because this could also create power struggles with people in your life. So if you can balance these energies and use them to your own benefit, to your benefit, use them in a positive way, then you can experience a self-empowerment. But if you use them to manipulate others, or perhaps in a negative way, then you might experience power struggles and some difficult situations throughout this trance, especially with other people. All right, so thank you very much, Capricorns, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transition into Aquarius, into your sign. So this is a big deal for you because it's happening in your sign. It's a 20 years transit. The planet that is coming into your sign is connected to transformation, regeneration. And these are very profound and deep energies. So expect intensity, expect transformation and changes on a deeper level. So as Pluto moves into your sign next year and more permanently from 2024 onwards, you will see that your life will change substantially. So here you will be moving away from habits, routines, people even that stand in the way towards personal growth, that create obstacles along the way. So you will have the inner strength, the inner power to move away from the negative energies, from the blockages in your life. Here, Pluto wants you to move away from anything that's superficial, anything that doesn't play any role in your life. So this is a time of clear out at the same time, especially in the initial phase. You might experience a sort of crisis as well initially, but overall this transit is here to help you to really regain your inner strength, your inner power. So here, this is for you to help to become a powerful individual. Self-empowerment, self-improvement, self-discovery. These are the keywords of this transit. So you'll be learning a lot about yourself throughout this time, moving away from people, relationships that stood in the way towards personal growth, that stood in the way towards your happiness. So here, this is a clear out when it comes to friendships, when it comes to habits, routines. You might also transform something in your outside look, your appearance. This could be also the case. Now with Pluto in the transiting the first house, so here in the whole sign system, I've got Pluto in the first house. So in the initial years of my life, I went through a lot of transformation, which included a change of residence more than once and other personal experiences that happened. But overall, with Pluto in the first house, this can be huge. This could be related to a change of residence. This could be related to change of career, getting married, having a baby, or even this could be a breakup of an important relationship, especially if you experienced power struggles in the past. Here with Pluto, you won't be able to tolerate any more things that or people that have caused trouble in your life, that have caused you to feel miserable and that have perhaps crushed your personality. Here with Pluto moving into your first house, this is a time of a transformation on a deeper level. You are leaving behind whatever doesn't belong in your life anymore. And this is like creation of the new you, of the new self. So here the first house is the house of self, our appearance, our body, our goals. When Pluto comes here, there's a transformation, perhaps an existential crisis. This could be the case, but overall, this is for you, this is when you're going to regain your power. Self-empowerment. You will find ways to finally get closer to your dreams, to your goals, to make your dreams a reality. Now, something to pay attention to, because you will feel perhaps, you will feel pretty powerful. You may come across as very intense to others, and this could also create power struggles with people in your life. So it's something to definitely watch out for, and you will have to control your urges and a tendency towards obsessive or even compulsive behavioral patterns, because you might become obsessed with a certain idea, certain goal, and you will want to achieve it no matter what. So here, the goal here is to make sure you control these urges and take a reasonable step-by-step approach so that you can reach these goals, but at the same time without turning some important people in your life away from you. So here life may attract really interesting people, events, circumstances throughout this transit. It's 20 years. So here we are talking about the next 20 years. It's not going to be happening, within a week or two. This is 20 years. However, with Pluto in Aquarius, the first few years will be the most important, and these will implement or initiate these important changes and transformation in your life that will impact the rest of your life throughout this transit, throughout these 20 years. So here there is this need for intensity, there is this need for change, there is this need for moving away from anything that basically you're fed up with. This is like a fresh start in a way, but for a fresh start to begin, you will have to experience perhaps a sense of loss. You will have to close some doors and at the same time go along with the process of transformation. So here, at some point throughout this transit, the new you will emerge, and this will be a pretty empowering change. So you will not recognize yourself. So here, moving forward, your life will change a lot in the next few years. So here, a big transformation, a big change is coming up. Your personal values may also change, and how you relate to others, how you deal with people in your life, how you reach your goals, and perhaps something that you've been working on for a long time during Pluto transit in the 12th house may finally come to fruition. And this could be pretty deep. Right, so here we go. I will discuss this transit yet again next year. So we will talk about this again in March, if not earlier, because here I will also release the 2023 horoscopes this month. So stay tuned and let's move into the next sign. Hello Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope for this coming Pluto's transition into Aquarius, and this is happening in your 12th house, the last house in the astrological house. So that's 20 years of this transit. So what does it mean for you? Oftentimes transits in the 12th house are misunderstood. This is the karmic house, the house of spirituality, the house of foreign places as well. But here with the 12th house, there is a strong focus on your mental health. This is what I've seen happen in many people's lives. During transits in the 12th house, we dive deep into our psyche. We try to better understand ourselves from the inside. So here with Pluto in the 12th house, you will have to face your fears, your phobias, and transform them into something meaningful. So here you will have to close some chapters, face some memories in your life that perhaps have been haunting you for quite a while. And here with Pluto in the 12th house, you have an opportunity to dive deeper into your psyche and let go, forget about them, accept them, and perhaps learn from these experiences and transform them into something empowering, self-empowering. Now, the reason it is important to clear away this garbage, so to speak, psychological garbage, is because when Pluto moves into your first house, you don't want to carry all that emotional pressure and trauma. This is an opportunity here with Pluto in the 12th house for healing of the self, of the psyche. So that's Pluto in the 12th house, because when Pluto moves into your first house in 2043, 44, this is when you will start to transform your outside image, the self, your identity. However, while Pluto remains in your 12th house, you have an opportunity to face your fears, your phobias, your traumas, and heal them, let go, and learn from these experiences. So this is a process, a long process of healing in a way. Now, many Pisces might want to dive deeper into spirituality. Spiritual retreats might also be here the case for you. Meditation, learning about yourself on a deeper level. Now, this is also connected to travel. You might be traveling as well. You might find that some trips, especially to a foreign place, that's the 12th house, are very spiritually empowering, awakening even. So there could be situations that here Pluto in Aquarius brings for you that will kind of trigger some deeply buried emotions and feelings, but only to allow you to face these emotions, and then this would lead to a process of self-empowerment in the long term. So here, Pluto in the 12th house, this is also about closing some important chapters in your life. Chapters that outlived their purpose, no longer serve anymore. You've got 20 years for doing so, but you might be doing a lot of work from behind the scene, a lot of work doing art, even doing art, music, singing, and there's a lot of creative energy that you can dive deeply into. And you might develop a lot of interests, creative interests at this time. I know Aquarius rising individuals who have just, they're about to finish their transits of Pluto in the 12th house. And many of them developed lots of creative interests throughout this period. From behind the scene, or perhaps this could be related to also a business, a project, an idea, but there is something that you will do from behind the scene and you will find it very empowering, and you will need it. You will need it to find some kind of comfort in your life, but in a very deep, profound, platonic way or sense. So yes, working from behind the scene or on your own on either some creative project, or you might be learning to play an instrument, for example, or this could be like your business, your hobby, but you will develop something of this kind that you will grow into, so to speak. So you will become passionate about it, and this will be done from behind the scene. All right, so here what else I wanted to mention as well is that during this transit, pay attention to your dreams, because especially during a full moon, or perhaps an eclipse season, your dreams might be very vivid and they might have answers to some important questions you may have throughout this time, or the time when of that dream. These dreams might have a deeper meaning, might have a deeper connection to whatever it is that you are or will be dealing with at the time. So yes, definitely pay attention to your dreams, intuition as well. And here, spirituality will definitely play an important role in your life in the next 20 years. It's a long transit, so here the process will be slow, but the most important will be the beginning of this transit and the end. So thank you very much. All right, so we reached the final sign for this forecast. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be back soon and discuss the 2023 horoscopes for each sign. And in those horoscopes, I will yet again briefly discuss Pluto's influence in your chart in regard to the other transits. So here, Saturn in Pisces, and also Jupiter in Aries, and then Taurus. So here, thank you very much, and until the next time. Bye for now.